So back then in 2006, Apple did a major transition from PowerPC to Intel, which sort of not only changed everything for Apple, but for its customers as well. Developers had to redesign their application, for which Apple made them available a developer transition kit which had Intel based processors, and they were only restricted for developers and not for customers. Now since then, Apple is using Intel's processor as Mac's impetus. Now finally in WWDC 2020, Apple did announce they are gonna begin a new transition from Intel to its own ARM based processors. Hey guys, my name is Ayush. You're watching That Tech, and today in this first episode of Tech Discussion, we are gonna discuss how good this transition can be. So let's begin. There are some obvious hardware benefits when Apple shifts ARM-based processors and also some underlying software ones, which means the move will be not only advantageous for Apple but for us as well. So starting from low-end benefits for Mac, a shift to ARM-based processors will provide more performance than Intel for 90% of what Mac is used for, or at least more performance than Intel's current roadmap should provide. And also for many engineering reasons, an ARM-based processor has a bonus of producing less heat compared to Intel given the same performance. Adding more to it, the Macs using ARM will be more powerful and faster than Intel, and they will be able to ramp up higher clock speeds without making the machines run hot. Now many of you people might not know that Apple is already using ARM chipsets, namely T1 and T2 in their Macs since 2016. In 2016, T1 was introduced with MacBook Pro Touch Bar, and in 2017, T2 debuted in iMac Pro. Both of them ostensibly concerned with security because they handle Touch ID to secure the enclave. However, T2 in particular has got some other benefits that Apple didn't promote, yet it plays a significant role in overall performance by handling the audio processing. For instance, it also shoulders some work of video encoding from the main CPU of Mac. Now coming to another benefit, Apple's shift to ARM will provide the company total control over the entire Mac stack. Now it is typical for Apple to work everything on itself, not because of some corporate ego, but as a policy with some crucial advantages. Now having control over both hardware and the operating system will help Apple progress both at the same time. Now this is where Microsoft actually falls a bit behind. Microsoft didn't take control over Windows and PC at the same time. Even as new hardware technology has developed for Microsoft, it takes much longer time to seep out to all the PC manufacturers. Apple on the other hand avoided it, but it is still dependent upon Intel for its processor manufacturing. Now there is no doubt that Apple has first influenced Motorola, then PowerPC, and then Intel to manufacture its processors. Now with ARM, Apple efficiently owns its processors and will design Mac's ARM processor just like it does for iOS. And it will get all the advantages of developing both hardware and software in a lockstep. Now starting over again, previously Apple's transition work was so secret that we never knew that something like that might happen. And it was Steve Jobs who revealed during the Intel transition that Mac OS X had already been made running on Intel's processors for many years. So undoubtedly there might be ARM based Mac running inside Apple, and this time we are seeing the public signs of the move. Apple may not be admitting that it is all about moving to ARM, but this time they made some key changes that might be setting up Mac for its future. One of the blatant signs is macOS Catalina, where only 64-bit applications can run on it, and that means all the 32-bit applications that might have been difficult to support for ARM or to port to a new processor, or they have already been fallen wayside. Similarly, Catalyst is also trying to drive developers' code in a certain way. That means leveraging the work they have done for ARM processors in iOS. Developers for both Mac OS and iOS will continue to use Apple's Xcode to create their applications, and they won't have to think about any different technology as much. Now Apple can make some key elements that we see in their new Swift UI that works on both the platforms. Okay, so these are all the positive sides of the coin, and not all things might work in Apple's favor. There might be some problems anywhere. Specifically, there will be Adobe and Microsoft who will be late to the party like last time. But this is not a safe bet to say, as these companies might have changed their mind because they are investing so much of the resources for developing applications for iOS. If Catalyst, as Apple hopes, becomes much of a help for developing Mac versions of iOS applications, then we might see both these companies joining in time this time. What's not clear till now is where will Apple pitch its first ARM-based Mac. There is a strong chance that they might place it in the new MacBook Pro of some configuration because Apple sells more of laptops than the desktops. and it will want its ARM processors to make a splash in the market. So I personally feel that this transition might be a good choice for Apple because it will be beneficial for the company and for the customers, as the customer will get a more powerful and futuristic machine to work on, and might be at a cheaper price. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if yes, then do hit the like and the subscribe button, and don't forget to click the bell icon so that you can get notified each time we upload a new video. Till then, this is Ayush. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.